ಕಿಟದಿಂದ ಕಿಟದಿಂದ
Welcome to our annual day showcase. While this is definitely a time for us to look back on the efforts that we have made, we also want to reflect on the different changes that have happened over the past year. With the online platform, we have been able to host a series of talk events on our YouTube channel, Moham, and we had invited talks by a number of senior practitioners and scholars. Some of them were Professor Milind Malshe, Guru Mandakini Trivedi, Professor C. Rajendran, Guru Sadanam Balakrishnan, Kalashri KNP Nambishan, Dr. Uttara Asha Kurlawala, Dr. Anupama Kailash, and Guru Priyadarshini Ghosh. Among the younger scholars and dancers who participated in our talk series were Kalaimamini Rashmi Menon, Dr. R.L.V. Ramakrishnan, Dr. Samprita Keshavan, Dr. Divya Nedungadi, Vinaya Narayanan, Swapna Rajendra Kumar, Kalamandalam Vidya Lakshmi, Kalamandalam Lakshmi Anil, Manjusha Suresh, Bindu Rajendran, and Divya Warrior. We were also happy to host talks by Kavya Krishna and Dr. Justine Limos. The series covers a wide range of aspects on and around the dance form Mohiniyattam and is a valuable resource for any student or any enthusiast of the dance. We want to express our heartfelt thanks to all the speakers for their goodwill and for their generous sharing of wisdom. I'm also grateful to all the students who supported me in this particular endeavor. So we present here some of the key parts of the talks by the senior practitioners. The entire series of talks is available on the channel.
The future of a dance style lies in the number of young students it can attract and inspire to undertake training. Now, if we were to present a demonstration of the major classical forms, like for example Bharatanatyam, Odissi, Kathak, alongside Mohiniyattam, chances are that a young student will not opt for Mohiniyattam. According to me, this is not due to any shortcoming in Mohiniyattam, but is, comparatively speaking, due to the absence of dynamic, interesting, watchable choreographies in the style. A dance style is upheld by its choreographies. In fact, it is identified with its choreographies. It is up to the performer, the practitioner, the expert to reveal the possibilities in the form through the choreography. The Mohiniyattam choreographer need not compromise on the introversion of the style, on its grace, its fluidity, or even its andolita movements that characterize the style.
Ways, if you change levels, in the form, or you go to sculpture, you go to painting, you try and bring there is a feeling unless you dance in this second speed from beginning to end, and unless you just cut paste elements as they are from the book, it is not Mohiniyattam. Whereas my effort is always, I will not cut paste the elements. I will try to, within this andolita, within the rounded, graceful, I will definitely stick to that and the grammar that the gurus are talking of. But, so like for example, I worked on looking at all the Arabus. I found that, they can be divided into 6 categories. And then I think them now Sanskrit names, like for example, it is the Arabus are swinging. Okay. Then I call swing, you know what I mean, the swing. Yes. Then I say these are dolava, means they are like the swing. Or they are circular. Then I say this is ghurnitava, to move round and round. Or they are swaying. Then I say this is prankhanava, from moving from side. Or they are elephantine, then I feel they are gajavat. Or they are serpentine, then I feel this is sarpava. So when I create a movement, I try to keep, because I think these are the 6 ways in which Andolita expresses itself.
Post-independent India has seen the revival of various regional dance forms such as Bharatanatyam, Odissi, Kathak, Manipuri, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, and others. Basically, they were integrated into the regional cultures. Dr. Padma is credited with initiating the efforts to discover the long forgotten grammatical artistic base in Marga, that is the path shown by Sage Bharata, common to all the dance forms of India. The phenomenon is very similar to the language situation. In classical India, the Sanskrit language coexisted with all the regional languages. The Marga had coexisted with the indigenous groups till about 5 centuries ago. Dr. Padma has revived this Marga technique common to the entire Indian subcontinent and even beyond. And based on Nelly, I would like to mention Pandit Jasraj and his Mewati Gharana. The dates of Pandit Jasraj, 1930 to 2020, recently passed away. He had inherited the Khayal Gaiki from his father and elder brothers. It was called the Mewati Gharana. It had an ancestry, but single-handedly, Pandit Jasraj elevated it to one of the most elegant and modern styles of Khayal singing in the second half of the 20th century. And he also absorbed influences from what is called Pushti Margi Sangeet or Haveli Sangeet. Finally, I would like to say that all the gharanas of Khayal are vibrant today. This is because the artists have experimented. They have had a creative relationship with the gharana traditions, and instead of stifling themselves under illusions of eternality, they have accepted change and innovation as a central principle of evolution of this art form.
Order logic must be addressed first. Otherwise, a lot of data is lost in the process. Now, how the first order logic manifests through mediums like dance or movement is actually the second order logic. So if we look closely at the underlying reality of textual or these performing traditions of our land, we will realize that the reality they speak about is called a discrete reality. And A always has a relationship with the concept of B. And this is what is called samyoga, which Bharata speaks about when he says, samyoge rasanishpattihi. So he's not talking about an amalgamation, but he's talking about a contact, a point of contact. Now this, okay, I will not go into more details regarding this aspect, but I would like to say that when we try to understand the idea of Tandava and Lasya, I think if we look at if you look at them as wisdom systems or realities, and you look at the idea of the Sankhya, logic system also, there are two types of realities. One is the originating reality, that anything that originates has to be energetic or something filled with chalanam or, energy, and anything that is energizing is feminine. That was always the idea. Lasya, therefore, is attributed a feminine connotation. It doesn't mean that, it's woman oriented, because we didn't have what is the modern gender idea. We had negated that idea long back, actually, in our ancient systems. So we never attributed gender to a body or a particular gender there was no gender actually. One could seamlessly flow into the other, because it was all viewed as energy systems. So if we take Lasya to be originating reality, then therefore it is an energy system, and therefore it is the opposite of inertia, which is the male idea, which is manifest reality. That something from something is the idea there.
The description of Malavika's dance brings forth the features of an ideal dancer in Kalidasa's perspective. The gesticulations are pregnant with speech. Angaihi andarnihita vachanehi sujita samyagartha. And they convey the sense quite effectively. The gait accompanies the rhythm. There is perfect involvement in the emotion. The tender gesticulations grow from one limb to another, like movement passing from one branch of a tree to another. Here Kalidasa also speaks about the transition from one mental state to another in a spontaneous manner, with the basic mental state or Sthayi Bhava remaining unchanged. This could be an ideal which would inspire any dancer of any time. Ease, elegance, softness, rhythm, and dynamism are the qualities emphasized by Kalidasa in his beautiful description. Dancers of modern times face tremendous challenges in adapting themselves to the norms of contemporary society, even while retaining the spirit of tradition. Attitudes, tastes, patronage, and reception in relation to classical art forms have changed. And if the artist is not capable of reinventing her art to suit to changing times, there is a risk of the art itself dying out. A judicious blending of tradition and innovation may be necessary to ensure organic growth of any classical art. And here, traditional perceptions could be of immense help.
Now focus on what people are actually doing instead of the prescriptive aspect of classicism.
Yes.
So, and I think from what I can see from our dance festival, that dancers are, some are recovering the past items, some are doing research in poets who have never been written about before, or whose poetry has never been danced before. So that kind of research I think is very interesting. And it's very contemporary. They might relate it to Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
That's, you know, somebody has done a piece on Shiva Tandava and says it relates to Black Lives Matter.
Oh, all right. That's interesting.
So now, yeah, I think that's very interesting.
Yes.
And I think looking at what people are doing now is very, very interesting, instead of just only looking through the classical eye.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's a very restrictive eye. Just who is doing what now and why.
Okay. Okay.
That's one direction.
All
And
right.
it's happening everywhere, as you yourself have pointed out. So there are many areas that can be explored, different local areas, and the commonalities with the global and the differences with the local situation. It is. And they've gotten off their pedestal, and they're not anymore saying, this is Natya, and not dictating to the audience what you should see. And this is a beautiful Tilana, you know. No, this is a Tilana, and if you think it's beautiful, I'm happy, you know.
Okay.
So all that sort of stuff has stopped.
Okay.
I think, at least in the performances that I curate in America.
All right.
And my friends curate here. And we're very careful that the dancers should not project themselves in a wrong way.
Okay.
And the dancers I'm seeing here are doing some things that are very contemporary. For example, Rama Vaidyanath, she does that Peacock Alaripu,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And she has two narratives going in parallel, the Peacock narrative and the Alaripu narrative. And that is very postmodern. So any sort of postmodern dancer can say, aha, two narratives. That's very interesting. This is, you know, something I can relate to.
Okay.
So that's the way that I think that it's working.
All right.
And, you know, in which they...
One of the speakers we had earlier for Mohiniyattam, Mandakini Trivedi, she was telling us about how you know, a lot of experimentation is accepted in some forms like Bharatnatyam, but when it comes to Mohiniyattam, it is termed as, you know, not Mohiniyattam. So that risk is there, especially you know, the perspectives or the authority of the purists is so much. It's a big hurdle for many people to experiment, and that itself stands in the way, you know, of any kind of innovations.
I can see that, because you need lots more Mohiniyattam dancers to be out there doing it.
Yes.
And then it'll be more accepted.
That's
you know.
true. That's true.
Yeah. And lots more people teaching it, so then they'll see it differently and start to not want only to perpetuate what they know. Because there's also this terror that what I know is being lost.
Yes.
You know, but one has to let that go and trust the future.
In Abhinaya Darpanam, it says, Abhi Purvam Nayati Idi Abhinaya. That means to take forward or to lead forward something. That is Abhinaya. In Natya Shastra, it again described in detail. Abhi Puram Nin Pratyaya. The Padartham, when we takes towards the audience in an aesthetic way and to get them enjoy with the action or the music or everything, that is all it is connected Abhinaya. Sometimes we have a misconception. Abhinaya is only of facial expressions, but Abhinaya is of fourfolded. Angigam, Vachikam, Aharyam, and Satvigam. Angigam through the body, Vachikam, stylized dialogue, Aharyam with makeup and costumes, and Satvigam, the expression of inner emotion. When all these four abhinayas come together in a balanced way, well-balanced way, then only the abhinaya will be completed. A dancer or performer, the body is the vehicle or the idiom to communicate. For abhinaya, for us, it is our body. So the body of the dancer or performer must be well trained for a prolonged time with very strict discipline and under a good teacher. And then, for example, how we get control over the angas. To get an idea, I will show a small piece of Upanga Abhinaya. First the eye, then the eyebrows, then the eyelids, the cheek muscles, and the lips. Just to, if you can see, first. Now the eyebrows. Emotions according to the character, yes, perfectly beautifully we can present, and how much it can be balanced, and it must be again the Logadharmi and Natyadharmi in a perfect balance. Then it can take the audience to a different level. Logottara Chamatkara. Actually, rasa is called Logottara Chamatkara. It is not the worldly experience. Worldly experience, whatever we see, it will not be rasa. So it will be unworldly.
According to my opinion, the above Indian classical style has become famous when Padma Bhushan Kavalam Narayana Panikkar entered into the Kerala music style of Sopana Sankirtam after a great research on it. I had many opportunities to join with him to know more about music and rhythm and got more deep knowledge about the Kerala Talas and its jadis. Not only that, in the childhood itself, I had started learning Carnatic music and Carnatic instruments from well-known professionals from Kerala. Music enthusiasts would always want a comparison, and in general, one can say that while the scientific basis behind Sopanam and Carnatic are similar, the main difference is in the style of rendition. As it is sung near the steps of Sopanam, it was called Sopanathil Pattu, and this they broadly termed Sopana Sangeetam. Those items required for a public Carnatic performance, such as Alapana, Sangadis, Brigas, and so on, are mostly absent in Sopana. The focus instead is on gamagas and a slow tempo with long pauses to provide dramatic effort. Provides a classic example of Bhava Sangeeta. Deep calm, nakatarrakam, deep kutu nakatarrakam, tarrakam, deep calm. Nakatarrakam, deep kutu nakatarrakam, tarrakam, nakatarrakam, deep kutu nakatarrakam, dirigudu nakatarrakam, tarrakam, nakatarrakam, deep kutu nakatarrakam, dirigudu nakatarrakam, tarrakam, nakatarrakam, deep kutu nak, dirigudu nakatarrakam, dirigudu nakatarrakam, dirigudu nakatarrakam.
The various stylizations of Mangala. So there was a lot of what, personally, I felt the style that I was doing, I believed in it.
Okay.
Not saying all the others were wrong. So, how it developed, we don't know what the actual vocabulary was. That's the truth.
That's true.
What we know is all from 1930s and how it developed with each guru, each acharya, with thought, with knowledge. So you cannot, kind of disregard anybody.
That's true.
At least that's what I feel. But for me, is what I learned, the body kinetics and the movements that I learned. Somehow for me, that was the belief that, saying that this is the basic movement kinetics that I believe in.
Okay.
So from there, I started, as I said, re-looking at what I had learned earlier, which fit into this broad, I would say, standardization of Mohiniyattam. Very broad standardization. There definitely is a structured stylization.
Yeah.
We next move on to the performances of our students. As a teacher, I am both happy and nervous to present our students' performances because I am all too aware of the mistakes and of the shortcomings, but I also take pride in the little achievements that they have been able to make. Now, in the past year, in addition to the compositions that I have learned from my gurus, I have also taught some compositions that I have attempted choreographing myself. So among this is some verses taken from Kalidasa's Ritu Samharam. I have been guided by Guru Sadanam Balakrishnan in the choreography of this particular piece. The music for this is by Shesham Ramana and N.C. Parthasarathi. We present small segments from the Ritu Samharam in this performance section. I also want to thank my students' families for their continued patience and support, without which we would just not have been able to function. My thanks to the well-wishers, to all the well-wishers and the dance community in Hyderabad for welcoming me into their fold with open arms and for giving me and my Mohiniyattam a place amongst them. I also want to express my gratitude, my eternal gratitude to all my gurus, Guru Kalamandalam Shemavati, Guru Gopika Varma, Guru Sadanam Balakrishnan and Guru Nirmala Panikar. Whatever I have been able to achieve so far is thanks to their blessings. Thank you.
Ten kukkum ten kukkutta ten kukkutta graten kukkum ten kukkum ten kukku ten kukkutta graten kukkum ten kukkum ten kukkum ten kukkutta graten kukku ten kukku ten kukkutta ten kukkutta graten kukku മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ വിരവിൽ പാലെന്നും നീനച്ചൂടൻ വിരവിൽ പാലെന്നും നീനച്ചൂടൻ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ കരത്തിനാൽ മൂക്കിൽ വലിച്ചിടുമുണ്ണി ഗണനാഥ കരത്തിനാൽ മൂക്കിൽ വലിച്ചിടുമുണ്ണി ഗണനാഥ തൃക്കാൽ വണങ്ങുന്നേ ഗണനാഥ തൃക്കാൽ വണങ്ങുന്നേ അഴകിയ കുക്കുത്തരി കുടവയറ കൊടുമല ഗണപതി തകതരിതാൻ അഴകിയ കുക്കുത്തരി കുടവയറ കൊടുമല ഗണപതി തകതരിതാൻ തേൻ കുക്കും തേൻ കുക്കുത്ത ഗ്രതേൻ കുക്കും തരി കിടതകു ഖന്നം കിടതകു ഖന്നം തിരുകുടു ഖന്നം ഖന്നം മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചിടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചിടയിലെ ഗംഗ ഹരനുടെ നെറ്റി തിരുക്കണ്ണിൽ കൊണ്ടേ ഹരനുടെ നെറ്റി തിരുക്കണ്ണിൽ കൊണ്ടേ ഹരനുടെ നെറ്റി തിരുക്കണ്ണിൽ കൊണ്ടേ ഹരനുടെ നെറ്റി തിരുക്കണ്ണിൽ കൊണ്ടേ വരിനെല്ലി മണിവിരവോടെ ഒരു പൊരെ എന്നൊക്കെ പൊരിച്ചിടുന്നുണ്ണീ ഗണനാഥ വരിനെല്ലി മണിവിരവോടെ ഒരു പൊരെ എന്നൊക്കെ പൊരിച്ചിടുന്നുണ്ണീ ഗണനാഥ തൃക്കാൽ വണങ്ങുന്നേ ഗണനാഥ തൃക്കാൽ വണങ്ങുന്നേ അഴകിയ കുക്കുത്തൊരി കുടവയറാ കൊടുമല ഗണപതി തകതരിതാൻ അഴകിയ കുക്കുത്തൊരി കുടവയറാ കൊടുമല ഗണപതി തകതരിതാൻ തേൻ കുക്കും തേൻ കുക്കുത്ത തേൻ കുക്കുത്ത കൃതേൻ കുക്കും തരികിട കിടതകു ഖന്നം തിരികുടു ഖന്നം ഖന്നം തേൻ കുക്കും തേൻ കുക്കുത്ത കൃതേൻ കുക്കും തരികിട കിടതകു ഖന്നം തിരികുടു ഖന്നം ഖന്നം മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ പുലരി നേരം ശങ്കരനുടെ ചുറ്റും പുലരി നേരം ശങ്കരനുടെ ചുറ്റും പുലരി നേരം ശങ്കരനുടെ ചുറ്റും പുലരി നേരം ശങ്കരനുടെ ചുറ്റും ചൊരിഞ്ഞിടും തുമ്പമലരെല്ലാം ചൊരിഞ്ഞിടും തുമ്പമലരെല്ലാം അവിലെന്നോർത്തു വിരവിൽ മാറിടും ഗണനാഥ അവിലെന്നോർത്തു വിരവിൽ മാറിടും ഗണനാഥ തൃക്കാൽ വണങ്ങുന്നേ ഗണനാഥ തൃക്കാൽ വണങ്ങുന്നേ അഴകിയ കുക്കുത്തരി കുടവയറാ കൊടുമല ഗണപതി തകതരിതാ അഴകിയ കുക്കുത്തരി കുടവയറാ കൊടുമല ഗണപതി തകതരിതാ തേൻ കുക്കും തേൻ കുക്കുത്ത തേൻ കുക്കുത്ത കൃതേൻ കുക്കും തരികിട കിടതകു ഖന്നം തിരികുടു ഖന്നം ഖന്നം തേൻ കുക്കും തേൻ കുക്കുത്ത കൃതേൻ കുക്കും തരികിട കിടതകു ഖന്നം തിരികുടു ഖന്നം ഖന്നം മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ മുരഹരൻ മുടിച്ചടയിലെ ഗംഗ
ಕೆಟದಿಂದ ಪ್ರೀತತಿ ಕೆಟದಿಂದ ಪ್ರೀತತಿ ಕೆಟದಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಜಿಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಮಗದಿ ಮಂತೈ ತಕ್ಕಿದ ಕಿಡತಗದಾಂ ತೋಸೈ ಜಿಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಮಗದಿ ಮಂತೈ ತಕ್ಕಿದ ಕಿಡತಗದಾಂ ತೋಸೈ ತಕ್ಕಿಡ ತಗುಗು ತಗಿಡಂ ತಗುಗು ಕಾಣತ್ತಿನ್ ತಡಿಯನ್ ತಕ್ಕಿಡ ತಗುಗು ತಗಿಡಂ ತಗುಗು ಕಾಣತ್ತಿನ ತಡಿಯನ್ ಅಂಬತ್ತೊಂದಿರು ತತ್ತತ್ತದಾರಿ ಪಂಚಮ ಮಿಲತಾಳತ್ತೊಡು ಮೇಳು ಅಂಬತ್ತೊಂದಿರು ತತ್ತತ್ತದಾರಿ ಪಂಚಮ ಮಿಲತಾಳತ್ತೊಡು ಮೇಳು ತಗದಾಂ ದಿಗದಾಂ ತಗದಾಂ ಉಗದಾಂ ತಗದಾಂ ದಿಗದಾಂ ತಗದಾಂ ರುಗದಾಂ ತಗದ ದಿಗದ ತಗದ ರುಗದ ತಕ್ಕು ದಿಕ್ಕು ತಕ್ಕಿಟ್ಟು ತಕ್ಕ 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 ತಗಿ ತಾ ditam tom rida ditam tom tat 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 tom tat 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 tom tom tat 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 dimite te 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 लहरी विहारी पुररिपु प्रेमित त्रिपुर सुंदरी मुरली सुधा लहरी विहारी पुररिपु प्रेमित त्रिपुर सुंदरी शुभांगी करुणारस वारित ललित लवंगी वरदा अभयद सकल शुभांगी
प्रचंड सूर्य सदा प्रफुल्लच्युताङ्कुरतीक्ष्णा सायका द्विरेफमाला विरसद्धनुर्गुणः द्विरेफमाला विरसद्धनुर्गुणः मनंसि भेदं स्फुरत प्रसंगिना मनंसि भेदं स्फुरत प्रसंगिना वसन्तयोधः समुपागत प्रिये वसन्तयोध समुपागत प्रिये मबनी सबा निव मबनी रिमरी सदिनी सानी सबा निव मबनी सदी गदी सनी मबनी सदी सबा मबनी वगा मबनी मबनी जरी मगरी सदी वसंत ऋतुः वसंत ऋतुः वसंत
ತದನಿವುದನಿತ ದೃಂತಕತ ತದನಿವುದನಿತ ದೃಂತಕ ತದನಿ ಉದ ததும் தகதா దని దని తన తజం దని దని ఉదని తన తజం తణం తది దని దని ఉదని తన తజం తణం తది నాదిరిదిల్ల నాదిరి తత్తిక్కిడదగ జం జం తత్తిక్కిడదగ జం జం తత్తిక్కిడదగ తా తదని ఉదని తదం తకత తదని ఉదని తదం తకత తదని ఉదని తదం తకత
उदगमङ्गलम् अग्निमङ्गलं वायुमङ्गलं गगनमङ्गलं सूर्यमङ्गलं चन्द्रमङ्गलं जीवमङ्गलं जगदमङ्गलं देहमङ्गलं मनोमङ्गलं आत्ममङ्गलं सर्वमङ्गलं भवतु 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 सर्वमङ्गलं भवतु 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 सर्वमङ्गलं भूमिमङ्गलं उदगमङ्गलं अग्निमङ्गलं वायुमङ्गलं गगनमङ्गलं सूर्यमङ्गलं चन्द्रमङ्गलं जीवमङ्गलं जगदमङ्गलं देहमङ्गलं मनोमङ्गलं आत्ममङ्गलं सर्वमङ्गलं भवतु 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 सर्वमङ्गलं भवतु 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 सर्वमङ्गलं भवतु 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 भूमिमङ्गलम् उदगमङ्गलम् अग्निमङ्गलं वायुमङ्गलं गगनमङ्गलं सूर्यमङ्गलं चन्द्रमङ्गलं जीवमङ्गलं जगदमङ्गलं देहमङ्गलं मनोमङ्गलं